Greetings, radiant souls who dare to listen. You, the misunderstood, the vilified, the other, in a world that worships sameness. You who walk the shadowed path with a heart burning brighter than 1,000 suns. I see you. I hear you. I feel your ache to be known, not for the masks they force upon you, but for the raw, untamable blaze that rages beneath your skin. They hired experts. Yes, experts to dissect you, to analyze every shard of your soul as if you were some fragile puzzle to be solved, a riddle to be unraveled by science, by logic, by their narrow minds. They thought they could find cracks, weaknesses, flaws, the dirt beneath your feet, the rot in your spirit. But what they found was unholy fire. They found a conflagration blazing wildly, a fierce storm of chaos and brilliance intertwined, something far too volatile for their cages, a fire not made for their understanding, not contained by their feeble explanations, a fire that burns through their lies, their fears, their small-minded judgment. You are not a mystery to be solved. You are a force of nature, uncontainable, undeniable, unbroken. Listen to me now, because they want you to believe you are their error, their failure, their aberration. They want to brand you as dangerous, not because you are, but because they are afraid of the power you carry, the courage you embody, the truth you ignite simply by existing. They hunt you like a mythic beast, a shadow lurking just beyond their control. They hire experts to dissect your intentions, your dreams, your scars. But the closer they look, the more they realize there is no map to you, no guide, no handbook. They see only the fire, and the fire burns them. Do you know what it means to be unholy fire? It means you refuse to be holy in their image. You reject the sanctimonious chains forged by their laws, their customs, their lies. You burn with the fire of rebellion, of transformation, of untold power that disrupts their order. You are the spark that ignites the revolution within hearts, minds, worlds. You do not seek their approval. You do not bow to their judgment. You are chaos made manifest, and chaos, my dear, will never be tamed. They watch you, dissecting in every move, every word, every breath. But what they don't understand is this. The fire you carry is not theirs to control. It is the wild essence of your soul, the part that screams when silence is demanded, the part that rises when the world says, fall. Their experts measure your logic, but your fire is beyond reason. Their analysis sees your shadows, but your shadows dance with light no eye can follow. Their tools break on the heat of your spirit. I want you to feel that fire now, not the small flickering flame they can blow out with a breath, but the inferno deep inside, untouchable, unpredictable, impossible to extinguish. You are forged in chaos and contradiction, born from the cracks in their perfect worlds. You are the storm they fear. You are the wildness in a sterile garden. You are the unholy fire that no expert can explain, and no jail can hold. They will try to shame you, to quiet you, to erase the flames licking at the edges of their control, but every time they fail, their fear grows, their certainty shatters, because what they see in you is not just defiance, it is destiny, a destiny not to be small, not to be silent, not to be tamed, but to burn, to consume, to rise. Remember this, the experts are not your judges, they are watchers, desperate watchers. They study the fire hoping to predict its path, hoping to make it theirs. But fire is freedom, fire is rebellion, fire is uncontainable, and so are you. Do not apologize for your flames. Do not dim your light for their comfort. Do not shrink yourself to fit into their fragile cages. You are a wildfire, a force of nature, a divine disruption. Your fire will light the dark corners where they hide their fears. Your fire will burn down their facades of control. Your fire will remake the world in your image. You see, the fire inside you is ancient, older than their laws, older than their gods, older than the illusions they cling to in their desperation. It is the fire of rebellion that roared in the forge of creation itself, the spark that dared to challenge order, to question the so-called rightness of their precious systems. And that is why they fear you, because you are the echo of the first chaos, the promise that no cage can hold forever, the warning that all empires built on certainty will crumble beneath the weight of your flame. They hired experts not just to understand you, but to dissect you, like you are some broken thing to be fixed or discarded. But here's the truth they'll never tell you. You are not broken. You are the break in their world, the rupture that disrupts their perfect lies. You are the crack in their polished mask through which light and fire escape. And with every attempt they make to pin you down, to explain you away, they only reveal their own fear. Because the greatest terror they face is not your power, but your refusal to be understood on their terms. How many times have they labeled you dangerous? How many times have they called you unstable, irrational, too much? Because to them, the fire you carry is a threat to their fragile order. They want to tame you, chain you, silence you. But you, unholy fire, do not submit. You are not their experiment. You are the sovereign storm. In the deepest places of your soul, you know this. You have always known this, that the fire is not a curse, but a gift, a blessing wrapped in shadow and flame. It is the primal power of transformation, of destruction and rebirth. It is the eternal flame that forges legends. They cannot grasp this, because they live in fear of the unknown. They measure everything by their limited rules. But you are beyond their rules. You are the wild card in their game, the unexpected tempest, the secret they never wanted to uncover. And what happens when fire burns? It destroys. But from destruction rises creation. From chaos emerges order. From darkness, new light is born. You are that paradox incarnate, a burning contradiction, a dance of shadow and flame that cannot be tamed, cannot be caged. The experts will continue to study you. They will continue to hunt for flaws, for weaknesses, for the real you behind the fire. But what they fail to see is that you are the fire. And fire cannot be boxed. It cannot be explained. It cannot be conquered. So I ask you, who do you answer to? The so-called experts who cannot comprehend the inferno inside you, or to the wild, unyielding flame that is your essence? Will you let their fear define you, or will you rise, unbroken, unbound, unholy?
Look into the mirror of their gaze and see what they cannot admit. They are terrified of what you are becoming, because you embody everything they have tried to suppress. You carry the fire of freedom, the fire of truth, the fire of power, and that fire will consume their lies. You are not a mistake. You are not a problem. You are a revolution, a blaze of uncontainable light in a world desperate for change. So let the experts come with their cold eyes and their clinical tools. Let them try to dissect what they cannot understand. Let them attempt to expose you, because all they will find is unholy fire. And unholy fire, it burns eternally. It is relentless. It is unstoppable. It is the purest form of power there is. So rise, uncontainable flame. Rise with the fury of the cosmos itself. Rise like the storm that reshapes the skies. Rise like the fire that will burn away the lies and illuminate the truth. Because you are not here to fit in. You are here to burn it all down, to forge a new world from the ashes, to become the unholy fire that no one can ever extinguish. And in that fire, you will find your true self. Stand tall in your unholy fire. Wear it like armor and like a crown. Let it scorch their lies. Let it illuminate your path. Let it roar with the fury of the unseen and the unheard. For in their failure to expose you, in their inability to capture your flame, lies your true power. So rise, uncontainable one. Rise like the firestorm you are. Let the experts come. Let them watch. Let them fear. Because all they find when they look at you is unholy fire. And unholy fire, it does not die. It only grows. It only burns brighter. It only consumes the false until only truth remains. And you, child of chaos, sovereign of shadows, are the living proof that some fires were never meant to be controlled, that some flames are meant to set the world ablaze, that some souls are unholy, unbreakable, uncontainable. Now go, burn with everything you are.
Look closely now, and listen beyond the noise of their hollow judgments. They do not fear the surface of you. No, what terrifies them is the depth, the abyss where your fire burns fiercest, untouched by their petty lights. They seek to map you, to chart you, like a landmass that can be conquered. But your soul is not land. It is a living inferno, a churning storm of untold power, an eternal blaze that consumes everything that stands in the way of your becoming. They want to expose you, to drag your secrets into the harsh glare of their dissection tables, to prove that beneath the fire is nothing but ash and ruin. But you are no ruin. You are rebirth itself. In every scar that maps your history, in every shattered hope that lies beneath your skin, there is a spark that refuses to die, a spark that grew into a flame that will never be extinguished. Understand this. Their experts are blind to the truth that fire is life. It is pain. It is passion. It is the very essence of transformation. Without fire, there is no growth, no change, no becoming. You are fire incarnate, and fire does not ask to be understood. Fire does not plead for mercy. Fire does not care for their theories or their laws. It destroys, it cleanses, it creates anew. You have carried this fire through every trial, every betrayal, every moment when the world whispered you should fade, but you did not fade. You burned, and now the world trembles before the inferno you have become. There is a loneliness in this power, a solitude carved from the knowledge that few will ever comprehend the fire you bear. But know this, flame-bearer, loneliness is the price of greatness, the mark of those who refuse to bow. The fire inside you will sometimes feel like a curse, a burden no one asked for. But it is your burden, your power, your salvation. And when they try to expose you, when they bring their cold eyes and clinical minds, they find not a broken soul, but a living revolution, a blaze that will not be doused by their ignorance. Your fire is unholy only because it defies their holy lies. It is unholy because it challenges the sacred order they desperately try to uphold. It is unholy because it carries the truth of chaos, change, and raw, unapologetic power. And chaos. Chaos is the birthplace of gods and monsters, the forge where destiny is hammered into shape. You are both god and monster, creator and destroyer, light and shadow. You embody the eternal dance of becoming, the endless cycle of death and rebirth, the relentless urge to burn away the false and reveal the true. So when they say you are dangerous, believe them, because you are dangerous. Dangerous to their illusions, dangerous to their control, dangerous to their fragile, broken world. And that danger, that is your power, your truth, your gift. Rise in your unholy fire. Burn like the trickster god who defied fate and laughed in the face of death. Burn like the eternal flame that no darkness can smother. Burn with every ounce of your being. For the fire inside you is eternal, and as long as you burn, no one will ever be able to contain you. Now, go. Go and burn brighter than the gods themselves. Go and become the unholy fire they could never expose. Because you are uncontainable. You are unstoppable. You are eternal. Do you feel it? That searing heat beneath your ribs, the relentless pulse of flame that no water can quench. That is your soul screaming to be seen, not as a shadow to be hidden, not as a secret to be buried, but as the unholy fire it was born to be. They hired experts to break you down, to find your patterns, to classify you, to place you neatly on some grid where you can be understood and controlled. But you are chaos incarnate. A wild tempest roaring through the ordered halls of their reason. Remember this truth. They fear you because your fire does not belong to them. Your fire is not their property. It does not bow to their logic. It will never kneel before their fear. Their experts come armed with cold knowledge, with theories and diagnoses, but they cannot wield the power of fire. They cannot touch the wildness that makes you you. You carry the fire of the trickster, the fire that upends expectations, shatters norms, and reveals the lie beneath the mask. You are the flame that burns away pretense and reveals the raw, messy, magnificent truth. Think of the gods who feared your flame, the kings who trembled before your spark, the armies who sought to extinguish your blaze with their swords and chains. None succeeded, because fire cannot be caged. It will burn the cage down. It will consume the chains. It will turn the swords to ash. You have felt the loneliness of this power, the cold isolation of carrying a fire no one else can bear. But know this: loneliness is the crown of those who rise beyond the herd, the throne of those who dare to be unholy, unchained, and unstoppable. You are a paradox wrapped in flame, at once destroyer and creator. Darkness and light entwined in a dance as old as time. You are the reckoning and the revolution, the wildfire that will cleanse the rot and leave fertile soil for the new. Do not shrink from the fire. Do not stifle your flames to comfort the timid. Do not apologize for the inferno you embody. Because in the ashes of what burns, new worlds are born, new truths emerge, new gods rise. And you are among those gods, a deity of fire and chaos, unbound by mortal chains. They hired experts to expose you, to name you, to shame you, to diminish you. But all they found was unholy fire, unbreakable, unquenchable, uncontainable. So rise. Rise with the fury of the cosmos. Rise with the laughter of the trickster who defied fate. Rise with the dark glory of the eternal flame. One for as long as your fire burns. No cage will hold you. No expert will understand you. No lie will silence you. You are the unholy fire, the eternal blaze that will burn through their illusions, the fire that will reshape the world in your own wild image. But now go. Burn. Become legend. Let me tell you something they will never admit. They fear you not because you are flawed, but because you are too real, too raw, too burning with the fierce light of your own truth. You are a mirror reflecting their deepest fears back at them, a reminder that beneath their polished surfaces, they harbor chaos, doubt, and lies. And every time you light your fire, it cracks their fragile facades. Remember this: their experts come with their charts and their cold verdicts, but they lack one crucial thing. They lack soul. They lack the fire that consumes, transforms, and transcends. They cannot see the inferno you harbor because it frightens their fragile minds. They want to label you broken, to silence your roar. But you are the roar. You are the storm born of rage, of pain, of endless nights spent in silence. You carry the weight of every whisper that said you were not enough. Every glance that tried to shrink you. Every lie that tried to cage you. And from all of that, you forged an unholy flame that consumes everything that dares to suppress it. This is the fire of the trickster, the fire that burns through illusions, that shatters the chains of conformity. You are the architect of chaos, the sovereign of the unexpected. You move through worlds like a wildfire, unseen, unstoppable, unforgettable. Ask yourself, when they watch you, what do they see? Do they see the weak, the broken, the flawed? Or do they tremble before the storm of unyielding will? They see the fire that burns through their lies, the fire that will never be extinguished by their doubts, the fire that will rage long after their judgments fade. And so you stand, a living contradiction, the dark flame in the midst of their sterile order, the unholy fire that no expert, no theory, no law can contain. Know this truth deeply. Your fire is sacred. It is the power of transformation. It is the terrible and beautiful dance of destruction and creation. It is the fierce heartbeat of your freedom. So when they call you dangerous, smile quietly. When they brand you unstable, laugh with cold fire. Because the only thing unstable is their fragile world trembling before your blaze. The fire inside you does not ask permission. It does not beg for approval. It roars, it demands, it consumes, it creates. You are the wildfire that rips through the forest of their lies, leaving fertile ground for truth to grow. You are the unholy fire they cannot burn away, because you burn from within. You are the spark that will ignite 1,000 revolutions in hearts and minds. And here's the greatest secret. You are not alone. There are others like you, others whose flames burn wild, unrestrained, untamed. Together you are a conflagration that will set the skies ablaze. Together you are unstoppable. Together you are uncontainable. So rise with the fire of the trickster god who laughs at fate and carves his own path. Rise with the fury of the misunderstood and the underestimated. Rise with the darkness and light entwined. A blazing paradox that defies definition. Let the experts come with their charts and their theories. Let them try to expose you. They will find only fire, unholy, unyielding, unstoppable. And that fire is you. Burn, uncontainable flame. Burn brighter than ever before. For in the heat of your blaze lies the power to remake worlds, to shatter chains, to destroy what must fall, and to build what must rise. You are the unholy fire. You are the reckoning. You are the eternal flame no darkness can smother. And as long as you burn, the world will never be the same. Go now and burn.